If you could go back and erase the worst years of your life, would you? I wouldn't. For years, I would have done anything to change my past. Then one night, about 6 months ago, something amazing happened that changed the way that I see every challenging, every painful, every disappointing experience that I've ever had. While I was sleeping, my entire life, from the past to that day, was shown to me. And when it was over, I didn't want to erase any of it. If you've ever looked back on your life and wondered, what if I'd chosen differently? I hope you'll stay with me. I'm Mariah, and welcome to Inner Wick. Today, I'm sharing what happened the night that I stopped regretting the life that brought me here today. One night, again, it was about 6 months ago, a little after 1 o'clock in the morning, my eyes shot open from sleeping. And in that moment that they shot open, I was in complete awe. At that millisecond of a moment, I understood why I had all the challenges in my life. I understood why I experienced the disappointments in my life. I understood why I had the struggles. I understood the confusions that I experienced in my life. My entire life flashed before me. At least it felt like a flash. And it was something that I never experienced, nor did I ever think it was possible. And I have never heard anyone share a story like this experience with me. Now, it wasn't anything like a movie. It didn't look like a movie, like I was watching a movie at all. And it wasn't like one memory after another. It was thousands of moments kind of all at once just before me. It wasn't rushed. It wasn't a blur. I could see every moment that was being shown to me, and it was so clear. Each individual moment. I saw the happy times in my life. I saw the painful times in my life. I saw the decisions that I still questioned, the years that I thought I wasted. I understood in that moment that everything was necessary for me. That's what I felt, or that's what I took away. No one talked to me. It was just an understanding that I had when I opened my eyes as I sat there in awe. The interesting thing is, it seems like just as quickly as it happened, it was over. But any regret that I had, it all disappeared in that moment. I didn't have any regret when I woke up. I didn't die. I didn't have an out-of-body experience. I wasn't dreaming. I can't fully explain what happened, but I know it was a gift. I know it was a gift to me. The closest thing that I can compare it to is someone giving you every picture of your life experiences, except instead of holding them in your hand, I was able to see every one of them at the same time in front of me, like thousands of Polaroids. I think it looked like Polaroids. I was able to look at them, and I knew what they meant. I saw my childhood. I saw my teenage years. I saw moments of happiness. I saw my despair. I saw confusion, relationships, jobs, dreams, failures. I saw moments that I was proud of, the times that I've relocated without a dream. I saw the moments that I wished I could erase. I saw everything. And I understood the purpose of seeing them. Have you ever experienced that? If you did, will you please share it with us? Help us understand if you have any insight. For years, I believed that many parts of my life had gone wrong, that I made many wrong decisions. I made tons of bad choices and mistakes. And I figured that I could never undo those decisions, those choices, those mistakes. I felt that I'd taken too many wrong turns in my life. I didn't realize how heavy those internal beliefs were until this night. And on this night, those internal beliefs disappeared because of this experience. When this happened, I wasn't looking at isolated mistakes. They all blended together. Like I was shown the bigger picture of my life. And I understood it to mean that there is purpose in all of this. I'm telling you, it was just an amazing experience. I realized that if you removed one of those painful experiences, you wouldn't just erase the pain. You would have erased the woman who survived it. I realized that I needed those moments because they were part of the big picture that I couldn't see because I was too zoomed in on my own life. And I realized that every disappointment shaped everything in me. Every wrong turn taught me something. Everything that I regretted became part of me. That regret may have taught me something. It might have taught me not to do that again, but I needed the regret in order to learn not to do it. And because of this experience, I'm no longer ashamed of my story, of my life. I'm not ashamed of my decisions anymore. I'm grateful for it all. I understand the purpose. I understand it like I've never understood it before. So when it was over, I sat there staring into the darkness, wondering what just happened. And I still don't know. I still don't know what happened. I just believe that it was a gift. It's a gift from God, some sort of download. God gave me reassurance. That's what I'm going to name it. Or that's what I'm going to believe, not name it. I believe God gave me reassurance. Baby girl, you needed these experiences to become the woman that you are. I don't know. But it made me think about all the stories that I'd been repeating in my mind. It made me think about my many regrets. All the shouldas and couldas. You know, the shoulda, woulda, coulda, or if I only knew. Those are the stories that influence who we identify as. I thought about decisions that I've made in my life that I used to ask, what was I thinking? I don't ask that anymore. I see it differently now. Back then, during my formative years, I wasn't choosing from the wisdom that I have today. I was choosing from the understanding that I had back then. Those decisions and those experiences formed me. I'm strong. I'm resilient. I'm smart. I'm wise. I'm funny. I'm optimistic. I am funny, you guys. I'm telling you. I'm optimistic. I am. But all in all, I know who I am. And I can't be convinced otherwise. I want you to think about your own life. There are probably decisions that you've replayed over and over, relationships, jobs, places that you've moved, opportunities that you took. We judge those moments from who we are today, but the version of you making those decisions wasn't today's version of you. She only knew what she knew at that time. She was doing the best that she could with the understanding that she had. Understand that. Know that. Give yourself grace. somehow every one of those decisions became parts of the road that led you here. For years, I looked back on different periods of my life and I thought, I wasted so much time. I wasted time starting over. I wasted time beginning again, trying things that didn't work, wondering why my life never seemed to follow the plan that I'd imagined. But after that night, I realized that none of it was wasted. Every single thing was preparing me. Every experience was giving me something. The heartbreak, the disappointments, the questions, the mistakes. I honestly don't think that I'd be sitting here talking to you today if my life would have gone according to my plan. I'm glad it didn't. I'm glad it didn't go according to my plan. I think I was playing myself a little too small. Nothing in my life looked like it was leading here, but now I can see that every experience gave me something that I use today. The stories, the perspective, the compassion, the courage to finally stop waiting and build a life that feels like mine. That night didn't change my past. It changed the meaning that I give to my past. And once that meaning changed, the regret that I used to carry no longer exists in my mind. I've watched countless near-death experience interviews this past year, and if you've never watched an NDE story, it might offer you a new perspective about your own life. I would suggest that you watch like 3 of them. They're not morbid. They're actually beautiful stories. It gives you a whole different perspective that we as humans don't know unless you've had an NDE experience. But one thing that people often say is that when they looked back on their life, when they died, their life suddenly made sense and they now understood why they were here on this earth. They had a whole new perspective, a whole new understanding of what their perspective was. They no longer sweat the small stuff. They lead with love. And I wondered, after listening to those stories, how that kind of clarity felt. It was very hard for me to understand what they were saying because it was something that I've never experienced. That night, I didn't leave my body. I didn't die. I was on the couch, sleeping. I don't know exactly what happened. And I'm not asking you to believe that it happened for any particular reason. I'm simply telling you what happened to me because whether it was spiritual or psychological or something that I'll never understand, the vision changed me. I stopped thinking of my hardest years like evidence that I failed. Instead, I started seeing them as the years that built the woman sitting here today. I'm grateful for every moment and every experience that I've had. I have a different understanding now. To be honest with you, it's actually amazing. I'm thankful. I'm thankful for my challenging experiences. I'm thankful for my heartbreaks. I'm thankful for my frustrations. I'm thankful for my broke days. I'm thankful for my happy times. But we tend to get stressed out about the challenging times. That's why I'm emphasizing the challenging times. I want you thinking about your life. I want you to think about your story. Maybe you've spent years believing that you stayed too long or trusted the wrong person or started over too late, chased someone else's dream instead of yours, or judged yourself for taking the long way around like I did. Can I offer you another possibility? What if you've been judging your own life, looking at one chapter at a time instead of stepping back to see that whole book, stepping back to see the big picture? What if the experience that you've spent years trying to erase is one of the experiences that make you who you are? Because human beings are shaped by what we survive. Think about that. If you had erased one painful or challenging experience or period in your life, would you still be the woman that you are today? Would you have the wisdom, excuse me, would you have the wisdom that you have now? Would you have the boundaries that you have now? What about the strength? Would you have that? Would you have the compassion that you have now? Would you have the empathy that you have now? What kind of woman would you be? What about the resilience? Would you be resilient? I don't know. I know this though. If someone offered me the chance to erase the worst years of my life today, I wouldn't. Because I can't separate the woman that I've become from everything that shaped me. That doesn't mean that I would choose pain. It doesn't mean that I wish those experiences on anyone. It means that I finally understand that my life isn't a collection of mistakes. It's one complete story. Every chapter belongs. Every experience led to another experience. Every decision taught me something. Every disappointment shaped me. That night didn't give me a new life. It gave me a new way of seeing the life that I already lived. Your life isn't broken. Maybe you've been looking at it with regret instead of realizing the growth that it caused in you. If you believed in your younger self, if you believed your younger self was doing the best she could with the understanding that she had at the time, what regret would you finally be willing to let go of? Just let yourself sit with that question. Because maybe, just maybe, there isn't a single event in your life that you'd erase. If you could finally see what and who it was helping you become. Thank you for spending this time with me. If this conversation resonated with you, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Tell me about an experience that you've been wishing for a do-over, that you're beginning to see it differently. And if you've had an experience like that, or like the one that I described, share with us in the comments. Until next time, I'll see you back here at the table. Remember to take care of your inner Wick.